Welcome to Keep the Game Beautiful podcast. Each week, I highlight incredible people who are doing amazing things in soccer, the beautiful game. I'm Anna Turi, your host. Thank you for listening. Today's guests are Manya and Bobby Puppione. I remember the last time I saw Manya, I gave her a big hug, but I can't do that because of the virus. So I will be releasing an episode every Wednesday for the next couple of weeks, just to keep everybody occupied, because I know this is a very rough time for many. I hope you all stay safe and enjoy today's episode. I am talking with Bobby and Manya Puppione, two of the nicest people in our game. They've both been big supporters of the podcast since I first started, and I was lucky to spend time with both of them in Baltimore. Manya played on several U.S. national teams, played at Arizona State, and even professionally in the U.S. and overseas. She accepted her current position as the head women's coach at Marymount University after coaching at various levels over the last 14 years. Bobby is the director of Girls Development Academy for FC Virginia. He grew up in California, played college club soccer in Alabama, and then began his coaching career, most recently having been in Cincinnati. I wanted to chat with them this week as I really respect and appreciate everything they do. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us. We're glad to be on.
So is there anything else that either of you would like to share about your backgrounds or the work you do today?
I think you did a good job covering it. As you can tell, Manya has quite an accomplished playing background, and she's making her way definitely as a good college coach, and she also does some great individual trainings with people as well. So you definitely underplayed her work as a player, but she's a very modest person. But it was very nice intros that you gave both of us. So thank you for sharing that. We're just happy to be on, and we really think it's great what you're doing at such a young age and making it so professional. And you're out doing a lot of these quote professional podcasters with yours at such a young age. So keep it up. We really like it.
Thank you. So in my podcast, Keep the Game Beautiful, I always ask the same 3 questions. So first, what does the beautiful game mean to you?
Well, to me, soccer is the most beautiful game on earth because it is so universal. There are specific rules to the game, but that is just to keep it standard. But there are so many different situations, and players see different things in different situations, and there's no right or wrong answer, and it's really kind of as creative as you want it to be, and it's just such a freeing game. And you can play the game anywhere. You can play it on your own. All you need is a ball and a little bit of space, or you can play a pickup game with your neighbors and kids around, and you can have it a little bit more organized with youth club teams, and you can play at all different levels. So to me, it is such a beautiful game, and I love it, and I'm glad that, I'm a part of it, and I'm grateful for all the opportunities that soccer has given me to travel the world and experience different cultures and just make awesome friends and teammates. I still talk to my teammates, even from the ones where I played with them when I was, growing up in Connecticut. So to me, it is the most beautiful game in the world.
Yeah, I share a lot of what Manya just said, and I think she said it wonderfully. And some of the things also that I'll add to that is, just so many people across the entire world find it to be the greatest game in the world, and it just brings people together, and you really can see how much passion people have for it, and I just love seeing it. And then from a coaching standpoint, there's just so many different ways to play the game, and as a coach, there's so many different ways to set up your team and the model that you want to play. And is there any right or wrong way? No. You play the game the way you want to play the game, and it speaks for itself that way. So it's such a beautiful game, like you said, and we're both very blessed to be able to be a part of it. And in a awe moment, it also brought us together because we met on a soccer field. So, we're definitely very grateful for the game because it brought us together too.
What are actions or things you do to keep the game beautiful?
To me, it's really just a way to connect with my players on a personal level. I've, had my share of ups and downs throughout playing this game, and, injuries and just kind of a roller coaster ride of, what the game has given me in life. And, to me, to be able to, kind of share my wisdom and my experience with my players, that's really what this game is all about, is just kind of guiding my players, not giving them all the answers, but just sharing, my own experiences and how can I help them grow and develop as not just soccer players on the field, but, good citizens, good teammates, good student athletes. So to me, it's kind of like a higher level of, overall life, and how can I prepare them the best. I coach college kids, so the next step that they take is in the real world. So for me, it's just really, keeping the game beautiful that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, keeping the game beautiful comes down to just trying to instill a passion and a love for the game with the players that we interact with, and trying to give them experiences that they didn't know they could have, whether it be meeting professional players, having, the big sister, little sister program we have at our club, where, they're getting to look up to players that are older in the club and they can learn from them, and the players that are older can give back to the younger players. And we also try to, encourage our players to get back into coaching, and we offer, coaching education. And I think that just keeps the game going, and it keeps more people loving the game and in the game. And with that, it just brings people joy to be around it. So those are some of the things that we do, at least in our daily lives to keep the game beautiful.
How do you encourage others to keep the game beautiful?
I think it's, definitely on an individual basis. Everybody's journey is completely different. We have players with different learning styles, different ways of, being able to reach them and connect with them on a personal level. So it's really just making sure that they know that this is, their experience and what they put into it, their attitude, their work ethic, what they do often on the field to make the most out of playing the game. It's definitely a privilege and not a right to play the game, where I have been and where I coach. So it's really just giving them opportunities to see that, they shouldn't take it for granted, and that they are playing one of the most beautiful games in the world.
Yeah, I think, and it goes back to some of the things that I said previously, just about trying to give them opportunities and enlighten them in different ways of being involved in the game, whether it's coaching, playing, refereeing, being a spectator at college or pro games, and watching on television, and just trying to give them any opportunity to be around it and see what makes it so great and how they can continue to make it a part of their daily lives.
So we're recording this episode on Monday, March 16th, and I know most soccer activities across the country just paused. And I know this is a big part of my identity and many others, like both of you. So could you maybe start off and both share a little bit about what this means?
Yeah, obviously it's definitely an unfortunate set of circumstances that, now everyone across the world is really dealing with, or most people across the world are dealing with, and especially here at home in the United States. So, with soccer, so to speak, being shut down at a physical location of a club or a college or a pro environment, we still are looking for opportunities to keep the game involved with our players. And at our club, and I know other clubs that are now doing so as well, we're using a variety of ways to keep them involved in the game in a safe and enjoyable way. So some of the things that we're doing at FC Virginia is the number one thing that we do, and we've done this for 2 years now actually, is use Yael Everbush's Techni app, which is a great app that allows players to go at their own speed and try different skills and tricks and challenges and time trials. And it gives them an opportunity to continue to develop their skills on their own and really own their development when they can't be with us out on the field as a team. So we have players that are doing that, recording cool tricks and videos at home and sending them in. And they're able to do this in a safe environment where it's not going against anything dealing with the virus, but they're still able to continue to train. Another thing that we're doing is we're looking to have our players watch the game. We're sending out YouTube links of videos, and we're asking them questions, and we're giving them opportunities to interact with us through technology about what they see and what they analyzed in the game. And then some of the other things that we're doing is using Google Forms and Google Quizzes to question them and challenge them and show them videos and images, and then ask them questions like, what would you do in this situation? How would you solve this problem? So we're now challenging them mentally, since we can't be posing those types of guided discovery questions on the field with them. We're finding ways off the field to still be challenging them and draw love to the game. And it's really been cool to see the responses, even from our youngest players at 8, 9, and 10, giving responses to some of these questions and videos and images that they're looking at and seeing how they're thinking. And it allows us as a coaching staff to then look back at, okay, this is what they understand and this is where they are, and this is what we now then need to work on. So it gives us a great chance to really continue to develop them off the field, since we can't be with them on the field.
And yeah, for us, just at the college level, for us, we call them student athletes. So they're students first. So, maybe they have a little bit more time to focus on their studies. The world has a funny way of slowing things down. And obviously it's kind of, made people either stay at home or, focus on what is important and give people a little bit more time to, whether it's self-reflect, spend more time with loved ones, and just kind of focus on what is important and just, kind of taking care of our bodies. So for us, I've been able to, reach out to all my student athletes, make sure, number one, they're healthy after coming back from spring break. But just to really connect with them and, share with them that this is, something that we're all dealing with, and we're not able to play the sport that we love right now. But, it's not, who we are. It is a part of our lives. It's a big part of our lives, but it's not their identity, and that they can find their identity within, their own sort of personal growth and taking time to self-reflect and spend time with loved ones.
So what do you hope your players learn from this pause?
It's really up to them, and, sort of the time that they spend, by themselves and meditating and self-reflecting and spending time with family. So, I hope they start to appreciate and be grateful for the time that they have, with their loved ones and their families, and hopefully gives them a greater appreciation for being together as a team, because we've spent so much time apart, and we're still unsure of when the next time we are going to be able to meet as a group and train on the same field. So hopefully they develop that sort of appreciation and continue to put 100% of themselves into the team.
Yeah, I echo what Manya said about appreciating the time they have with family and being in their home and finding new activities to do in their home as a family that is safe and healthy. And I think that's extremely important. And I think it's also going to have them realize that, on that Tuesday that might be a little bit rainy and cold, and they're like, oh, we have training tonight. I'm sure all of them would be so thankful to be having one of those nights if they could right now, since it's taken away from them. And you never really know sometimes when your last game or when your last training session is going to be. So hopefully it develops a sense of appreciation for what they have and what they get to do. And especially, with a lot of players in this country are blessed to have, facilities and gear and equipment and coaches, when there's a lot of people across the world that maybe not be as fortunate to have all these things and have these opportunities. So an appreciation for that as well, and what they get and all the opportunities they have here in the game. And I know the players are already missing it, because they're reaching out to us and asking us any updates, and we still continue to tell them, stay calm, be at home, be well, take care of your family, stay healthy, and then find some time to work on your own with the Techni app and with the videos and any other things that you need to get done or want to get done.
How do you think the transition back into soccer will be?
Fun. I think everybody will be excited to be back on the field. We've taken this time to, plan and prepare for, the go ahead to be back on the field together. But, my players are craving time back on the field with us. And we have some exciting things planned for when we are back on the field. So I think everybody is antsy to get back on the field. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited for my spring season and, the upcoming summer and preseason in the fall.
Yeah, it's going to be a little similar to when you're off for the summer and then you're coming, you have our time, at least in our club, we have some time off, a month off or so in the summer, and then we come back and we start our preseason. It's almost going to be like starting another preseason in hopefully April or May or whenever it may be. And we'll have to adjust as educators and as leaders in the game to make sure we're providing the right environment, not jumping in full throttle right when we get back to the game, because obviously that's going to lead to an issue with player health and safety. So we're going to have to transition in properly, but get them playing, get them back touching the ball, playing with their teammates, interacting, and being together, because right now none of us can be together physically because of restrictions and social distancing, which is necessary right now. So getting back together and that sense of pride as a family in our club is going to be really fun too. And I think everyone's going to enjoy being back and really have a deeper love for the game, having been away from it in a more formal setting for so long.
So I know Manya mentioned meditation a little bit earlier, and I know you both embrace your individual Christian faith. How does this help in tough times?
I mean, I think it's, it just, anytime, trials and tribulations come about, whether it's individually or on a global scale like it is now, it's, for us, it's going back to trusting in God and that He has a plan for us. And, it's a great opportunity to reach out to those who are suffering and who, maybe need help, or maybe we go to the grocery store for someone who can't go, and, it gives us a great opportunity to be able to, pray for the world and just really trust in God that, He's going to take care of us and He's going to get us through this. For us, it's really, He is always with us in the good times and the bad, but, it's just a great opportunity to trust in Him and pray.
Yeah, I think Manya says it great there. And just one other thing that I'd like to add is something that I shared the other day with my followers and everything, is a passage from Isaiah saying, "Do not fear, for I am with you. I will strengthen you. I will help you." And I know everyone can be scared and nervous and afraid right now, and those are normal feelings, but just know that God is on our side and He's our teammate. And if you're teammates with Him, you're going to be successful and you're going to win. So He's definitely on our side.
If someone is religious, or even if they're not, how important is time in meditation or prayer to just focus on your own well-being?
I mean, whether, someone is Christian or not, I think it's, crucial for individuals to go through a sort of self-reflection and meditation time, time where you kind of silence the outside world and, listen to that inner voice, whether you believe it's, God or not. Like, that inner voice does speak, and it's really the only way that, we have a chance to grow and develop, because that's really what it's all about. It's about the journey, and it's a process of growing and becoming a better version of yourself and who you're meant to be.
And I think meditation is so important, just to slow yourself down. We're in such a fast-paced world, and I know I'm always so busy and active that it's important to just stop and breathe a little bit and just reflect and appreciate, and regardless of religion or not, just having a chance to step back and reflect and think about what you have, what you want to do, what you could do better. And that goes with whether it's in the game or outside the game in just life. And everyone does it in different ways, and there's no right way to do it. I know I do it sometimes when, I'm taking a walk with the dogs, or I'm in the shower and just, it's quiet and you don't, have any outside distractions. And I think, just the meditation part is important, so you can reflect and think about things that are going on and what you can do moving forward.
It's going to be very easy to find time to do things like this over the next few weeks, but how can someone find time when they're in the busier time?
I mean, even if it's like 10 seconds of just kind of close your eyes, pause during that crazy hectic time. I mean, I think we all kind of go through waves of, busy time versus quiet time. But for me, what works, and you have to kind of figure out what does work for you, is, I kind of structure my day out, and, I have certain times or even alarms on my phone that, remind me, all right, it's time to just take a moment, pause, breathe, focusing on breathing and just being quiet and being still. And then, once that's done, it's sort of easier to get back into that crazy, hectic, busy time.
As we're talking right now, Anna, our puppy Timber, who's only 15 months old, she's definitely pausing and reflecting right now as she lays on top of me during this podcast. So she's really giving us a good example of how to reflect and unplug right now. So, but no, really, the different ways are, even during the busy times, is just finding those little moments where you can do so. I know one of our girls' teams, before every game, they're in the huddle, and then everyone just zips their lips and is quiet for 10 seconds, and everyone just kind of sits there and does their own little mental preparation before a game. And I know some of the girls pray during that time. I know some of the girls just think about the upcoming play, and I know some girls just kind of just wait for it to be done. But that's their own little way of getting a little bit of a break and a pause and a reflection time to prepare for moving forward. So everyone does it in different ways. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do it, as long as you're genuine and honest about doing it.
What are some ways you think people can remain in contact and in touch with one another over these next few weeks?
I mean, we're always going to have, phones, and hopefully always have them as long as your Wi-Fi signal is strong. We're so quick to just text out a quick message, but, what I think is important is, learning how to pick up the phone and actually call someone, or, even FaceTime them. And, there's really no excuse to be able to stay in contact with someone. But, just calling someone just to, say hi and see how they're doing. And it could be someone that you haven't talked to in a while, but I know that, especially during this time, they'll be appreciative of, you reaching out. So just got to learn how to pick up the phone and call.
Yeah, I agree on that completely.
I know you both believe big in helping people find their right fit when picking a team. What are some things that you think people should look for?
I think it is definitely important for people to do their homework and also self-assess themselves and know what they're looking for, because just because what someone next to you might be looking for doesn't mean that's going to be the right fit for you. And I think it depends if you're talking about a club team versus a college team. But obviously you want to have a connection and feel a connection right away with the environment, the coaching staff, the players. When you're looking at a college program, you're looking at, do they have the academics that I want to be a part of? Is it the right size school? Is the location a good fit? Is it a big school, small school? Is the warmer climate, colder climate? Can I see myself being happy here if soccer was not in the picture? Would this be a school I'd still want to go to, even if I was hurt or injured or couldn't play anymore or anything like that? So there's definitely a variety of factors and a checklist that people should go through. And it's important to not make quick decisions. It's great to have that connection and love early on, but you still need to look at different things to make sure you have found the right fit, whether it's for a college or even for a club team, because what may fit for Manya might not fit for Bobby. And it's important that we find the right fit for each of us if we were choosing a club team or a college or whatever it may be.
I mean, as a college coach and having been through the crazy college recruiting process myself, I can't echo enough, what Bobby just said. He probably should be a college coach with all that, what he just said, but it really is, just getting as much information as you can, figuring out yourself and, what you need, and kind of projecting into the future what you are going to need from your college experience. But you can't do that if, you're just sitting on the couch at home. You need to go visit places. For us, the recruits, we tell them, it has to be a good fit on our end. You have to fit into our team and family culture, but it also has to be a good fit on your end. So you can only do that by going to visit and asking the hard questions. And there really is no, dumb question. We let our recruits ask whatever it is they need to ask.
How can you get players to consider more when picking their right fit?
I think it's important for, at least from my standpoint, from a club perspective, when they're looking at colleges or even when they're looking at other club teams, if they're looking to come and join our club from another club, I think it's important for them to do the homework and really educate them on the process and who you are in training, who you are in games, who you are off the field, some of the things that you do for their own personal growth, whether it's academically, community service wise, self-improvement. So it's important that you educate people that are looking at colleges or teams and some of the things they should be looking for. I know we do seminars and we do individual meetings, and we try to educate the player and the parents as much as possible. And we do the same thing with when players come and take a look at our club. We want them to come see us multiple times so they get a really good feel of who we are, and not just they saw us once for 10 or 20 minutes or an hour and that's it. We want them to really know who we are, and we want to know more about them as well. So that way, there's no misunderstandings or I thought you guys were this, but you're actually that. So I encourage as much education and research as possible because, it's such a wonderful game. You want to be happy doing it, and you don't want to make just a quick decision on something like that brings you so much joy. You want to make sure that joy is going to continue when you become a part of that program.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And, for us, I do reiterate to the recruits that it is a process. It's a process of us getting to know them and them getting to know us. So, there's multiple phone calls. Like Bobby said, there's multiple college visits. I like to see a player play in, more than one different type of environment. But for on the recruit end, it's, it is, doing your homework, doing research, showing that you're interested in the program, the college that you're looking at. And for us, we are looking at them just as much as that they're looking at us, so we do watch, recruit behavior with their families, are they respectful to their mom and dad, that sort of thing. I can talk about this for days and days, but we'll keep it short.
Do all players always find their perfect fit right away?
Not at all. Not at all. Some players do find it right away, and that's great. Other players take a little bit longer in the process for a variety of reasons, whether it be they, availability to go visit, they are a late bloomer in the game. They, aren't seen by the right school that actually is the best fit for them until later in the process. I know players that have gone into their spring of senior year and then found the most perfect fit for them at a school. And I've known players that have found to be the first school that was interested in them actually turns out to be the best school for them, and they go and they have an amazing 4 years and loving life because they went there. So I think it's different for every person, and it's just important that it's their journey, and the journey of player A is not the same journey as player B, nor should it be anything like that, because everyone is different. I've had twins that have gone to different schools, and you thought, oh, they got to be going to the same school, but no, they're not. And that's totally okay because they're two different people. They have different interests, they have different likes, and they're looking for something different in their situation. And I think it was great that they ended up choosing different places because it was their best fits for them. So it's really important that players really do the homework and research about it. And, it happens at different times for people because of a variety of reasons, and that's okay.
Retweet.
So we've made it to our final question. What do you hope people remember about your impact to soccer and the world?
For me, I want it to be more than just the soccer. I define success as, preparing my players for life and just giving them a positive, fun experience. We focus a lot on fun and positivity and, on and off the field. So, I have players who I coached, 15 years ago who, I had hip surgery, and one of my players from 15 years ago sent me flowers. To me, that is, that's success because I, touched their lives in a positive way, and I'm still in touch with that player, and she still continues to come to me for, mentorship and guidance. So, it's more than just the soccer. It's just really impacting their lives in a strong, powerful way.
Yeah, I agree with Manya. I think it's, just so important that we're not just developing players, but more importantly, we're developing people in the youth game and helping them go on to be successful. And there's players that we've coached that have gone on to be, doctors and teachers and lawyers and a variety of things, and they've been successful in their careers. And I think it's just important that, we help develop them for the future and make them be flexible. As a player, you need to be flexible because you're constantly, playing in a 360-degree game, and you got to problem solve and you got to know how to handle adversity. And I think, through our environment, we're helping them develop problem solving skills and ways to deal with adversity. And those things, you can't put a price on that, but they're using those types of things when they get out into college and into their working jobs and having to deal with these life situations. And, that just made them be more successful because they can handle that.
I learned a lot from both Manya and Bobby. I really do want to have them on the podcast again in the future because I can learn so much more from both of them. I want you to remember and stay tuned because I will be posting 2 episodes a week now, one on Monday and one on Wednesday. So until I see you next week, remember to keep the game beautiful.